And that orchid, which was decayed, see, it's now completely dry. See how this potassium permanganate works fast? I love this. I use this for everything in the house. And see how it's good. It dried and it washed everything, and it's completely clean now. It's not even smelling now. I smelled it. It's not smelling bad. And these wounds, they healed. See, it helps to heal these wounds very fast. See how it's looking? The roots are looking dry now. See, it helps very good. I love this. And now what I'm gonna do, I will show. I decided already while I was doing this planting, I decided what I'm gonna do with that orchid. And now I have to empty this pot. It has some leftover sphagnum moss here. I will empty it and see it's clean, and I will place my orchid cup in this pot. It can sit here, and now I will do this orchid sphagnum moss I soaked in water. Now I have to drain this water, and I will show you. How I drain it. I press it like this. I don't squeeze it like this. No, I don't do, because nothing. We have a little bit moisture. That's why I just press it and drain this sphagnum moss like this, and I will come back. Here is my sphagnum moss. You see, I drained it well, and there is no water here. See, it's moist now. Now I will show you some different way which I could use, but I will not use this way. See, here I can place this orchid in this vase, and these roots, they will touch. If I put here some water and I place it like this, these roots will touch the water, and water evaporates, and it will help this orchid to grow new roots. But I'm not going to do that, because most of time these roots will die in the water. Even most of you know the water culture method, and these roots will die in the water, and this orchid will grow new roots, and this is not healthy orchid, and I'm not gonna place it in the water. What I'm gonna do, I use my method, which I root my African violets in the sphagnum moss. Sphagnum moss will help to root, and the rot will not happen in the sphagnum moss. They plant in the sphagnum moss in the greenhouses. They pack the sphagnum moss like this, and that's why the roots cannot brace, and that way they die. If we plant in a right way the sphagnum moss, it will help to root very fast. It's a very good thing. I will show you here. I have African violets which I rooted in sphagnum moss. They were they had this kind of problem. They decayed their stem, and then I cut the stem and I placed in here in the sphagnum moss, and see, they're even growing here. They were happy here, and now I have to do the same thing with my orchid, with that orchid, and I will show you how I do that. Here my orchid, and I take it, and I take sphagnum moss here from this place, from the corner, and I make little bit heel here, and I place my orchid like this. And this moss, it will help these leaves from dehydration. It will help. And this moss I will put here around the roots. I will cover the roots. See how I'm doing that? This way, and that stem is touching the moss, and this moss is covering the roots. And see how it's sitting here, and this water will evaporate, and it keeps here. I will make small greenhouse. I will place it in a bag. See, I leave open. Oh, I didn't show you the stem of this orchid. I have to show you first. I forgot. See, the stem is sorry, I forgot. Sometimes I forget what I wanna show you. It happens most of time. And here you see the stem is completely dry and clean. See, this potassium permanganate, it helps to to dry, and it's very good to fight with bacteria, with bad bacteria, and most of you know, I think, and I don't need to explain about that, but you saw how I am using that. I washed this stem, and see, here is no sign of rotting here. It's completely dry. It dries very fast, but it doesn't kill. See, the stem is dry and clean here now, and it's not even smelling. When I smell, it's not smelling bad like it used to. And see here, even the roots, the wounds heal. Here, see, it's dry, and if I squeeze, nothing coming out here. See how it's good now. This permanganate, potassium permanganate, it disinfects very fast. It's very good to use in the plants. I use, you know, and see these roots, they are dry. Only 20 minutes it sit here under the fan, and now I can plant it. I can put it here, and I will take some, and I don't cover this stem. I place it on top of the sphagnum moss like this, and I cover only the roots, not the stem, like this. And this water evaporates and helps this orchid to the leaves and to the root, and it will root. I hope it will root. If I see some changes, I will show you. And I have to place it in the bag. I will show you how I'm gonna do it. I take bag and I place it like this, and I slightly tight it like this. I have to open a little bit, and here it's a little bit warm in here, and if I don't wanna tie it completely, I will leave this space open, and I will leave it here, and I have to check tomorrow what's going on here, and if the stem is rotting or it's still dry. If it's still dry, it's a good sign, and I can leave it in this new home. And now I will check this orchid pot also, and with these flower spikes, what I can do, I will tell you, this flower spike, it cannot grow keikis, because you see from the color, I propagate, most of time I propagate, you know, the plants, and from the color I can tell if this will grow or not, if this stem will root or not. this is not flower stem, but see, I wanted the stem which roots from the stem. It's not that type, but I'm explaining you with other flowers I have experience. If their color change like this yellow, see, this one is more yellow, this one is still green, and this one I can place in the vase if I wanna see, but this one I can put, you know, I can cut because this is still good. I have to cut this dead part here, see, this is that part, and I can cut this flower part also, we don't need, and this part I can you know, I can put in here keiki paste, and we'll see if it will grow some keikis, and I can place it with that orchid in the sphagnum moss. I can put there. We can try. If we will see keikis, it's good. If we don't see, we don't lose anything anyway. I am not throwing away this flower part. I will put in a cup or some vase, small vase, and I can enjoy. And this, you know how I'm opening this, even you can use a tool and you can open how I will show you. I do with my nails, but here, oh, it's uncomfortable with this. It's better to do with nails. We take like this, and you see this small node here. In here we can apply keiki paste. I have here my keiki paste, and I can put on these nodes. I take some, and I apply like this. You see this place, and I have to put the keiki paste here like this. And I'm not losing anything. I'm trying to have something, and I can apply on all of them. We will see what we will have from these nodes. I am applying here, and trying to propagate this orchid stem. And here, see this node, and I put some keiki paste here. I cover this node with the paste, and the rest I can put in here and place it with this orchid, or I can put in separate, but I don't wanna do that. And I can place it here like this and leave it, and we will see. Now I will do the same thing. I have to check all my pots and replant these orchids also. Now I have to give them time because I don't want to see their roots like these orchids, and I have to make to do it now. Thank you for watching. Please subscribe and don't forget to put thumbs up, and we will discuss lots of problems with growing plants. Thank you. Bye. Now in my case I have roots, and I can place it in sphagnum moss. But if you don't have any roots and you are ended with this stem only, and you don't have any roots, how you can root this orchid? You put in a vase this much water, and if your orchid has new leaves here, small baby leaves, that leaf, it doesn't need to touch water because it's weak and it can decay. These big leaves, they touch water. You put your orchid upside down like this in the water. It will sit like this. When it's very much dehydrated, this way, this method will help your orchid. It will sit like this. See how it will sit in the water? The tip of the leaves, one third part of the leaf, it will sit in the water, and you have to keep it in the water until it starts growing new roots, and this water evaporates, and this part, sometimes you can spray, and here you have to check the water all the time. If you see something swimming in the water, you have to change immediately, because these leaves can decay if this water is the dirty, and you change this water very often. And what you can do, even you can put this piece of wood charcoal. It doesn't let the water get bad. And even if you don't have wood charcoal, you can use these charcoal capsules you put in the water, and this will kill all the bad bacteria in the water, and it doesn't let decay the leaf. And if you don't want to use anything, you have to constantly change this water. That way you can root this orchid leaf, orchid stem, and the roots will start growing from these parts, and you will have orchid again. These two, see, they have good roots. This one has few roots, but it's good still, and this one has very good roots. See, I didn't take out anything, I didn't cut anything, I just cleaned that part little bit, not much. And here, this kind of things we can cut. And I want to show you how I plant this kind of long roots. I see it has very good roots. And if you don't see any flying things, any insects in the sphagnum moss, if it's good, you can use this sphagnum moss when you are planting. But I told you that I saw a couple of fungus gnats in these pots flying. That's why I don't want to use this. But in with my mini orchids, I used their sphagnum moss. I didn't use new. Here I see I have everything, and I wanna plant it in a new medium. I don't use anything from that old because it has insects. I don't wanna have here any insects. That's why I put some in the bottom. I have to put big chunks first, like this, and I put mixed medium in bottom, and I place my orchid roots. This is small, but I don't have bigger cup now, and I have to plant it here now until I find something bigger. It's better to do something with this orchid than not to do. And see, it's still high. I have to take out a little bit more and leave only a few. Now it's okay. See? And now I have to fill this pot with the medium. I take everything mixed. See how I am doing. And I tap it a little bit. Needs bigger pot, but this pot is not bad. I push with a spoon, with medium, here where I cannot get with my fingers. I am not damaging any root. I feel where I am pushing this spoon, and these roots are not letting me put the medium under them. I had to fill here a little bit in the middle. Sometimes I use this method. I fill in, you know, inside the roots, then I place it in the cup if it doesn't go. Now you see it's a little bit better, but here still it's empty. Now I can take it out again and put some here and place it again. And now see, it's better. And this place still a little bit empty. Gap here. It's too much, and I will push with a spoon, and I can put some sphagnum moss in here. And some bark mulch, pine bark mulch, and now it's better. See how it's sitting? It's on the level of the pot, and I feel around these roots. I don't put the stem in the pot. It's better if it sits on top of the pot. This is charcoal, see? like this. I fill the gap between the roots. And by the time every time when we water, this medium goes in the pot, it sits down, and that way it will find its place. See how I potted this orchid. Small pieces I can put here between the roots. This kind of small pieces I can place here or here, yeah. And on top I can put some sphagnum moss. It's better if we put on top a little bit sphagnum moss. It keeps moisture. See? Now I planted this orchid. It will go down a little bit when I water. Now I'm not gonna water because this soil is moist, and it's not too bad. It's better not to water now. Now I finished repotting them. I will show you this one, this one had few roots and only some roots we can see through this cup, and I tried to plant them as close as I could to this wall. You see, I want to see the roots, how they are doing, and here I tried to put them close to the wall. See, few roots it has also, and these flowers I put in this cup glass, and here there's orchid I put in the sphagnum moss, and I put date here, and we will see how long it will take to this orchid to grow its new roots. Now see, it's dry, and I hope it will root soon. Thanks for watching. Please subscribe if you are not subscribed yet, and please ask questions if you have questions. I will try to answer you, and don't forget to put thumbs up if you like this video. Bye, happy gardening.